looking good. R. Sri Shankar, Head Institutional Equities at Prabhudas Lilladher is with us. Sri, good morning. Good to have you with us here. Prashant this side.
Good morning.
So, you think with this bounce that we are seeing, we've ended the fall, the 4% fall that we saw? Or this is essentially going to be short-lived, the bounce?
Prashant, our thought process, it all depends upon what were you expecting and how the expectations got built in and how much is a disappointment as far as each investor is concerned. So if you had over-expected things to happen, yes, it had given cause for disappointment and people have sold off or the stocks have corrected. But if you look at what is in store and what is going to be the growth that is going to be there over the next couple of years, and if you are optimistic on it, there is no reason to feel bearish, no reason to be out of this market. And as we had put it in our report earlier, it should be used as an opportunity to keep adding to the positions that you have at every fall. I mean, this is much more in terms of a longer term. You would talk about a quarter, etc. And it's not for a single day trade and things like that. That's purely going to be dependent upon the momentum for the day, momentum for the couple of days, and the buying and selling which keeps on happening. But from a fundamental point of view, if you continue to remain optimistic on the economy and growth is expected towards the second half, more towards the third and fourth quarter, so more towards probably the fourth quarter, then all reasons you should be optimistic. That's number one. Number two, what we have had in terms of monsoon has not been very encouraging. The latest sowing data which has come about, yes, it has improved when compared to 4th of July. The 11th July data is much better than what has been in the 4th of July. Still, in cases like oil seeds, etc., it is pretty disappointing that the sowing has been pretty low. So if the monsoon or the rains, the way it is, still continues to remain good, then probably by next week, a lot of lost ground may get reduced. And that should lead to a better production data in terms of an agriculture from what was anticipated 2 weeks back, and things can look much better. There are far too many moving parts at this stage to make a call in a very short period.
You don't see any problems, right, for the market, Sri? The level of interest, flows, they all seem pretty. You think it'll all be very healthy?
See, the way we look at it, yes. Number one, this was a budget which came about. If you're asking me about the budget implications, budget was by a government which has been in power, for 40 days. So there's very little they could have done to change a whole lot of things. But they have clearly given their thumbs up in terms of what they want to do in the infrastructure space and continue to drive that particular growth whichever way that they feel deemed fit. That has actually happened. That's number one. Number two, monsoon impact is something which is weighing very heavily in the minds of investors. Will the inflation numbers will continue to go down? The latest inflation data for June is really positive. But if you look at the product prices or agricultural product prices right now in the market, that doesn't give you much comfort. Probably this number can have the potential to go up. And if the monsoon is not going to be very good, what impact it will have on not only in terms of inflation and consequently in terms of interest rates is something which is worrisome for investors. So at the moment, with the kind of rains that we are seeing, I still continue to remain optimistic.
Okay, just a bunch of stocks, right? So let's just talk about oil marketing stocks now. What's your view?
See, there is no change in the views that we have in terms of oil marketing stocks. And there is nothing new which has come about in oil marketing companies. And in fact, what has happened is a status quo has maintained, and it has been earlier said that you will see a an increase in prices which will continue to happen in terms of diesel, 50 paise per liter kind of scenario, and that still continues to go on. The other side, what has happened for the petroleum subsidies is there is a reduction which is budgeted towards petroleum subsidies, which is also telling you that a lot of these high subsidies will be seeing as a good reduction. That's what is happening.
Okay. Any thoughts on ITC, Sri? I mean, the stock has held very steady. 3 years in a row, excise hike has been about 20%. You think there'll be little impact? I mean, that's the consensus view. You think that's correct?
Yes, the stock has held very steady, despite what we believe has been a strong dose of excess impact which will happen on the company. Let's not forget that it is coming on a higher base as well. So the absolute number will be much higher in terms of it. So that the stock has held quite firm, and that has slightly been surprising. So we had downgraded the stock from a buy to an accumulate because of the kind of impact that we expect is going to actually result in a slowdown in terms of the volume growth, and how much the volume growth will have an impact on the profitability is going to be something which we have to wait and see. But the positive things is because the FMCG business has broken even and it's continuing to do well, and if the economy recovers, even the hotel business will be it should give you much delta in terms of profitability. That's where we are. Yes, ITC's strength has really surprised me.
NBFCs, which were large borrowers from the debt market, will see cost of funding go up quite significantly. Any specific thoughts?
No specific thoughts on it. I don't think that there should be any specific reason for NBFCs per se. It's going to get market determined. If the interest rates in the entire economy goes up, then I don't think that NBFCs are going to be insulated from those kind of levels at all.
Public sector banks, Sri, after the budget, a lot of what has been done, say for example on the debt side, higher taxes, etc., should bring more funds into this banking system. I mean, at least that seems to be one of the aims. But on the other hand, there has been no specific plan for bank recap and things like that, where there was lots of expectation. PSU Bank specifically, what's your view?
See, there are, you've asked a couple of questions, 2-3 questions on the same subject. Let me put it across point number one by one, address it one by one. Point number one, on the tax levels on the debt, mutual funds, etc. Nowhere in the world does mutual funds have got this kind of a tax break, etc. So now the mutual fund industry is also quite mature. It has been here for a long period right now, I think well over 17, 18 years and closer. And some of these mutual funds have been around for more than 20 years as well. So you will actually start to see a lot more resilience for these kind of things which will happen. That's number one. Number two, there was a tax arbitrage which existed between the banks. If you deposit in the banks, if you deposit in the mutual funds. I think all the government has done is, and this budget has done, is remove its anomalies.
Yes.
So that anomaly has got removed. Third, again, when you speak about the recapitalization of banks, I view it as something, if I take a leaf out of the finance minister's speech, he has clearly mentioned about the need for a consolidation and the views that expressed in terms of one more item which everybody was expecting, which has not happened, is GST. And once GST also gets implemented, expectation was that there will be a GST getting implemented, or at least a timeline by what date it will get implemented will be there, which was not there, which has probably disappointed a lot of the market participants. So I think we will rather wait and see this to when they come out with this data right now. And as far as PSU banks are concerned, yes, recapitalization is not something except from that 11,000 odd crores equity going pumped into the banks. Plus, I have mentioned about the consolidation that is required. And our view is that if the economy continues to improve, then you should see the stress levels in the sector also coming down.
I'll see that you like Infosys. Can you briefly
Yeah, we do.
explain why? Briefly, yes.
See, our view is that Infosys margin expansion that has been seen is on the right track. The worry has been in terms of, our analyst believes that the worry has been more in terms of the attrition, which has been high at around 90. So our thought process is this attrition has been high basically because there was so much of uncertainty created, not only from the high levels of resignations and the high level, senior management levels from various people, etc. So once the issue of a new leader and everything has been made crystal clear, and these things should result in a normalcy getting restored. So we don't think Infosys is going to have a huge amount of problems going forward. And 2% plus QOQ increase in terms of revenue, and the EBIT margin improving, and the expectations of QOQ growth were slightly higher, and it was slightly robust in terms of growth expectations, and will continue to deliver.
Okay. Fair enough. I think we covered a fair bit. There's L&T also, which you like, but I think we've spoken about this on earlier occasion. So it's a mix of, I think SBI, a couple of private sector banks, there's Larsen, there's Infosys, and Wipro, I guess. But I just want you to quickly outline your mid-cap ideas. You like Motherson Sumi, you like Britannia, there are a few other names. Yes.
Motherson Sumi, Britannia, PA Industries, UPL, all these continues to be still in our radar, and still continue to be the some of the picks in that mid-cap space as well. No changes in that thoughts at all, and we still continue to remain optimistic.
Okay. This Motherson, Aurobindo, United Phosphorus, ING, Vaisya, Britannia. That's the list. Sri, thanks very much for your time. Great talking to you. Appreciate it very much. R. Sri Shankar, as always, is head institutional equities at Prabhudas Lilladher with his thoughts on the show. We're going to take a break here.